announcement. COVID-19 is spreading droplets. Coughing or sneezing into your elbow catches the droplets and helps stop the spread of COVID-19. It keeps the virus off your hands so you won't spread it to other people and make them sick too. Find out the other simple steps you can take at covid19.govt.nz. Let's all unite against COVID-19.
Keeping you in touch with the country and the world. This is Newstalk ZB News.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm Leslie Deverell. There are hopeful signs in the latest COVID-19 infection figures released today. There were 18 new cases reported, bringing the total to 1,330, including 471 people who have recovered. 14 people are in hospital, 5 in intensive care, with one of those in a critical condition in Dunedin. The death toll remains at 4. Director General of Health, Dr. Ashley Bloomfield, says testing will be increased to make sure new cases aren't being missed.
It's encouraging that we are seeing a smaller number of cases, and that I think all New Zealanders should take heart from that our collective efforts are paying dividends.
And there's a reminder to reach out to each other this Easter. Dr. Bloomfield is urging people to call their loved ones, especially the elderly.
We know Easter can be a hard time for a lot of people who may not be around friends or family at a time when we are usually very close to our friends and family.
All 4 of the people who have died of COVID-19 in this country were over the age of 70. Details remain a mystery about a private function in Auckland that's left 35 people with COVID-19. Health officials will only say the cluster is linked to a private party to celebrate an event and was held before the lockdown. Bloomfield is defending the lack of public information, saying it was private, well-bounded, and everyone involved has been contacted. Accommodation has been secured for the homeless community for up to 6 months. Nearly 1,000 motel units have been found in response to the COVID-19 crisis, with nearly 500 units now occupied. Housing Minister Dr. Megan Woods says the government's Homeless Action Plan lays out a range of actions to tackle homelessness, and they'll continue to implement this during the coronavirus pandemic.
There's another piece of work we have to do, and that's making sure that we have places for the people that are currently in these units to go. The places won't be ending straight after the lockdown. We've given ourselves a bit more time on that.
13 Kiwis who were stuck on a cruise ship off Uruguay are now back in the country. They were flown home via Melbourne with almost 100 Australians and are now in quarantine in Auckland. They're deemed high risk, as 60% of those on board the Greg Mortimer cruise ship had tested positive for COVID-19. 2 Australians who were on the same ship couldn't go home as they're in hospital in intensive care with the virus. The USA now has the world's highest death rate from coronavirus, overtaking Italy. More than 20,000 Americans have now died. New York is the worst affected state, but Governor Andrew Cuomo says the infection rate is slowing.
The number is somewhat stabilizing, but it is stabilizing at an horrific rate. And these are just incredible numbers, depicting incredible loss and pain.
Julie Ann Genter says councils around the country are interested in widening footpaths and cycleways so social distancing can continue past lockdown. People have been told to stay 2 metres apart during the COVID-19 level 4 alert, which could be lifted next week. The Associate Transport Minister says the government will pay 90% of the costs of temporarily widening paths. Genter says councils know they'll need an alternative to crowded buses once the lockdown ends.
And they could see cycling, e-bikes start to pick up some of that slack.
Genter says there's no cap on the money councils can apply for, but $100 million has been underspent on walking and cycling. Police are yet to lay any charges against a fleeing driver who crashed into a police dog unit in South Auckland on Friday night. The driver is in a critical condition in hospital, and his female passenger is in a stable condition. The dog handler has a broken leg and gash to his head. He had surgery yesterday and is in a stable condition. The dog wasn't injured. Newstalk ZB Sport. 1997 Melbourne Cup champion Might and Power has died aged 26 after a bout with colic. The Kiwi-born horse was a star on both sides of the Tasman, with his front-running record-breaking 7.5-length Caulfield Cup win under New Zealand jockey Jimmy Cassidy. Then Might and Power went all the way in the Melbourne Cup.
Might and Power and Doremus getting to Might and Power. They hit the line photo. Oh, nothing between them. Doremus or Might and Power in a close go.
Whether it's from his base in Brisbane or behind the wheel of the real thing, Scott McLaughlin continues to be near the front. The Kiwi has finished second in the latest Indy iCar Series race at the simulated Michigan International Speedway. It was the first round of the series on an oval track, and McLaughlin says he spent all week preparing for the different challenge.
TJ Majors for spotting me this week. He's been unreal and really helped me learn ovals, and can't wait for the next one.
Simon Pagenaud won the race, while Scott Dixon was 30th. Newstalk ZB Weather Watch 24/7. Strong winds, gales and unsettled weather may affect many places. For the entire North Island except Gisborne and Hawke's Bay, rain developing tonight, heavy with possible thunderstorms early tomorrow, then turning to showers and clearing from Wellington. Gisborne and Hawke's Bay mainly fine, scattered rain tomorrow morning. Marlborough and Nelson, a few showers, then heavy rain this evening, rain easing to showers tomorrow morning, clearing about eastern Marlborough. For Canterbury and Otago, except Clutha, rain tomorrow morning, mainly south of Ashburton, then scattered showers, mainly about coastal Canterbury, possibly heavy with hail. For Bulla, Westland, Fiordland, Southland and Clutha, periods of rain in the west spreading elsewhere tonight with some heavy falls. Possible thunderstorms, also hail tomorrow and snow lowering to 500 metres in the south. For the Chatham Islands, cloudy periods of rain from tomorrow afternoon. That's Newstalk ZB News, Sport and Weather to 9:07.
Keeping the weekend going that little bit longer. Sunday night with Tim Wilson. Call 0800 80 1080 and talk back. Newstalk ZB.